Is any amount of swimming leaving you exhausted? In this video, I'll show you why that's the case and how a future with sustainable swimming is possible for you. Hi, this is Andrew Sheaf with Mastering Flow. I help you dramatically improve your swimming by providing simple, actionable strategies that you can implement today, all without the need for in-person coaching. I believe that everyone has the power to improve in every area of life, and all that's needed is the right guidance. Let's get better today. One of the most frustrating aspects of swimming is how tired you can get and how quickly it can happen. And it doesn't matter how fit you are on land. If you're making some fundamental mistakes, you're going to get exhausted. For some of you, this struggle may be a not too distant memory, and for some, it may be a current reality. And it's no fun. And if you're like I was, you probably tried all sorts of different strategies to try to make change. Maybe you worked on your pull, maybe you worked on your kicking, maybe you tried to swim longer, maybe you tried to swim faster. And while you may have improved a little bit, it probably wasn't what you were looking for. It's frustrating. So what's the solution? I'll get to that in a minute. First, I want to help you understand why you're getting so exhausted so that you can implement a practical solution. I want you to understand the real problem. It's not your kicking, it's not your arm pull, it's not your arm recovery. 99% of the time, your hips and legs are sinking, or you're kicking like crazy to prevent them from doing so. And here's why it matters. When your legs sink, it feels like you are sinking. And when it feels like you are sinking, it feels like you might drown. And when that happens, everything tightens up and everything stiffens up and you can't relax. That wastes a lot of energy and it makes it really difficult to execute your other skills. To make matters worse, just about everyone will instinctively kick to try to keep the hips up. And while that can work, but not really, doing so comes at a real cost. The legs use a lot of oxygen, and kicking hard to keep your hips up is going to push your lungs to the max. So, you need to learn how to keep your hips up and your legs up without using hardly any oxygen. Then, you'll be able to stay loose and swim effectively without losing control of your breathing. And that's where endurance comes from. It's not about building a bigger gas tank, it's about learning to use that gas more efficiently. So what do you have to do to make that happen? Well, here's your simple solution that we're going to use to get better today. Improving your body position and keeping your legs up is all about the lungs. Without the air in the lungs, you're going to sink no matter what. The first step is learning how to feel the air in your lungs support you in the water. With that sense of support, you can learn to relax, and that alone will make a huge difference. The ball float is my favorite exercise to help you feel this support. For many, it will be the first time that they feel comfortable and stable in the water, exactly what you need to sustain your swimming. This exercise is a great starting point because anyone can do it, and it doesn't require any special skill. Just grab a big breath and float. Don't worry if you sink a bit to start. Be patient and you'll float back up. Additionally, don't worry about how deep you are in the water. Everyone will have a different settling point, and that's normal. It's the stability that's important. Now, once you've established support in the water and you can feel your lungs, it's time to learn to leverage that support. Here's a great starting point. I call it the active jellyfish. What you're trying to do is press into the lungs by pushing your head and chest into the water. The goal is to lean forward. Doing so will naturally raise the hips up in the water, just like a seesaw. You may find that you only have to push slightly, or you may find that you have to push a lot. That's going to depend on you. It's also okay to use the arms and the legs slightly to cheat to create a slightly better position and a little bit more stability. However, the idea is to use the head and the chest to keep the hips up, so that should be the focus. It's the same skill that you'll try to transfer into your swimming later on. When working on this exercise, be patient. It may be difficult for you, and that's definitely a good thing. It means that you have an opportunity to improve, and that means your swimming can improve as well. For many, this exercise can make a huge difference in their body position, which is going to really enhance their endurance. Now, the last big step. You may need to work on this step as well in order to figure everything out. No problem, that's completely normal. Provided that you've established how to create some solid support in your lungs, you can learn to leverage that support and pull your legs up to the surface. Letter floats fit the bill. You're simply going to try to create letter positions using the arms and the legs on the surface of the water. Generally speaking, the X is the easiest and the I is the hardest. Everything else in between is fair game, representing an intermediate level of difficulty. You may or may not be horizontal in the water, and you may or may not be on the surface of the water. Again, struggling is a good thing as it means that there's something to learn. The idea is to attempt to figure out how to create these positions. That's the skill you're working on. It's actually easier to execute these skills while swimming, but you need to figure out how to do them separately so that you know what to work on. If you start to sink, resist it, and you'll be working on the right skills that you need to improve. Simple. I've given you the path to stop getting exhausted while you swim. To recap, you're getting exhausted because of your body position and your inability to relax in the water. Improving your body position starts with feeling your lungs and the support they provide. Once you learn to feel that support, you need to learn how to leverage that support with your head and your chest. Finally, you need to learn how to leverage that support with the back side of your body. Start incorporating these exercises today in whatever way makes sense for you and your current training. Don't sweat the details, just practice. Be patient, take your time, and you'll improve. If you found this information insightful in any way, smash the subscribe button right here. That will ensure you get my next video where I'll show you how to implement these exercises into sets to optimize your learning. In the meantime, check out this playlist here for more on how to improve your body position. Keep it simple and keep getting better.